Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Jacqueline Spisher. Today you will be doing a 30-minute back and hip opening stretch. So if you're someone who's been sitting for long periods of time, it's time to get up, hit the yoga mat, and let's stretch it out. All right guys, we're gonna start seated on the mat, legs crossed, crisscross applesauce as they like to say. Hands on your knees, and we're just gonna start with some breath. Close your eyes, breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Fill your lungs with air, breathe in. Spine nice and tall, hold the breath. As you exhale, get taller. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. One more breath like that. Inhale. Hold. Reach the crown of your head to the sky. And release. Start with some shoulder rolls to the back. Keep your eyes closed if you wish. Just loosen up the shoulders. You can twist your head left and right. Just get all the tension out of your shoulders and your neck. And roll your shoulders forward. If you want to nod your head, yes. Drop it down and up. Just release that tension. Sit up tall. Reach your arms out to the side. Flex your palms. Feel the stretch in your forearms all the way up to the center of your body. Pretend like you're pushing the walls away. Really flex your hands. I want to feel the stretch all along the underside of your arm. Supinate your hands so that they are facing the ceiling. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, flat back, forward. When you place your hands on the ground, push your hands into the ground so that you can push your tailbone back as well, so that your hips are not coming up. You want to leave them down on the floor. Feel the stretch, opening up your shoulder blades. Might feel a little bit in your lower back. Just breathe here. When you inhale, let your lungs fill up, let your shoulder blades separate. On this exhale, walk your hands to the right. Still pressing your hands into the ground, keeping your tailbone on the floor. You want to feel a stretch all along the back side of your left side. So all the way down your back, from your left shoulder all the way to your left glute. Really especially push that left hand into the ground. And breathe. On the next inhale, walk it to the center. And on the exhale, walk it to the left. You're gonna do the same thing. Really push the right hand into the ground. So you feel a stretch from your right shoulder all the way down to your right lower back. And breathe here for a little while. Let the inhales really expand your back. And when you exhale, allow the stretch to deepen. One more breath here. Next inhale, walk it forward. And as you exhale, reach your arms out and up. Bring your arms down to your side with your palms flexed one more time. And bring them down behind you. You're gonna take one foot, make sure it's slightly in front of the other foot. You're gonna place your palms with your fingers facing the back on the ground. You can come up on your fingertips so that your hands are like this behind you. Push into the ground and just open up your chest. Lift your chin to the sky. Inhale. Feel your chest, expand your chest. Exhale, let it deepen. Inhale. And exhale. Do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Pull your shoulder blades together. And return your spine to neutral. You can hold on to your knees. Now, take your palms and wrap them under your knees. Push your knees down. And you want to feel your back be completely straight. I'm just going to turn so you can see. So you're going to go kind of from just normal sitting. Pull against your knees and push your knees down so that you are completely straight. From this position, if you were to tilt your head to the right, you should feel really nice stretch here on the side of your neck, also into your upper shoulder. And breathe here. Reaching your right ear to your right shoulder, keeping your shoulders down. Drop your chin to your chest and roll your head over to the left. So your left ear is reaching towards your left shoulder. Face back to you again. You're going to feel the stretch on the right side now. When you spend a lot of your time sitting, it's so good for your posture to open up your chest, open up your back. Release your chin back down to your chest and hold it there. Keep pulling your shoulder blades back. Your posture affects so much. If your posture is not good, it can actually impact your internal organs. Sit up, you're gonna reach your right arm across your chest. Pull with your left arm. So when your posture is not good, it can actually impact your inner body. It can affect your digestion. It can affect just the natural processes. It also has an impact on your heart and your lungs. You're not able to take as deep breaths. Your breaths become shallow if you're not sitting up straight and tall. Now, I'm not saying we have to be perfectly postured all day long, but it is very helpful. And if you're someone who sits for a long period of your day, it is absolutely beneficial that you take time to stretch at least every other day. It's amazing if you can do it every day, even if it's 15 minutes. Something is so much better than nothing. And being aware also of your posture when you are sitting. Sitting's inescapable. We can't not sit. So just being aware of how you're sitting. All right, now I want you to come onto your knees. You're gonna go from here, you're sitting on your heels. I want you to sit up. Keep your abs engaged. I want your knees under your hips and your feet pointed straight back. So they're not together, they're parallel. I want you to sit down just enough to reach one heel. Now from here, you can do one of two things. You can either take your right hand and simply reach it up and back, keeping your abs engaged. So I don't want you completely relaxing because that will hurt your lower back. So lifting up and over if you can and want to. You can reach that right foot back to your right heel and come here. I believe this is the camel pose. I believe it is. I'm not extremely familiar with all yoga terms, but I do know this is great for opening up your chest, opening up your hips. You should be feeling a stretch here, as well as in your chest and your upper back. So you're either here or you're reaching. If you are reaching, you actually might get a deeper stretch in your right hip. So play around with where you are in this stretch. Bring your arm up and come up. Breathe for a second, let the oxygen flow back to your head. If at any point you feel dizzy, just come out of the stretch. Don't hold it as long. All right, inhale, reach your right arm back to your right heel. Take your left hand, reach it up and back. Hold it here. Reaching with your left arm. The more you push forward with your hips and reach back with your left arm, the deeper the stretch in your hip, your psoas, and your chest. The chest will be more stretched if you bring your other palm down. Hold it here just a little bit longer. One more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, reach it forward. Come on up. Now to reverse that, you're going to step it back. Come into a semi-plank tabletop position. Abs are engaged. Hands are right under the shoulders. Knees are right under the hips. On the exhale, because I want you to inhale first as you are straight. When you exhale, I want you to tuck your tailbone, push your hands into the ground and round your spine. Almost, and this is what's called a cat pose. So you're like a cat when they get all angry and back comes up. So inhale. On the exhale, tuck your tailbone, push your hands into the mat. Let your shoulders open. Inhale, drop it. Lift your chin and lift your tailbone. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. Inhale. Come back to a neutral spine. I want you to take your right hand and snake it through between your left arm and your left knee and lay your right shoulder onto the ground. This is probably gonna feel really awkward. Move your left hand a little above you and push into the mat. Now when I'm doing this, I'm feeling a stretch right here in my right shoulder blade because my right arm is through and I'm pushing away and pushing my right shoulder into the ground. So I'm feeling a stretch right through my right trapezoid, which is right where your scapula is, your shoulder bone. Just breathe here. It's also a nice twist. And come up, reset. Now you're gonna take the left hand and you're gonna do the same exact thing. Snake it under, and now you will see from the other side, my left shoulder is on the ground. My right arm is a little above my head. I'm pushing into the floor with my right hand and pushing my left shoulder in, twisting my upper back. Breathe here. And come up out of that. Awesome. Now you're gonna have a seat. Place your feet on the floor, hold on to your knees. And I want you to sit with a straight back. Inhale. On the exhale, round your back, round your shoulders forward, tuck your chin to your chest. Make sure your hands are not quite right on your knees because you don't want to be pulling on your knee joint. Kind of hold on to your shins so you can really pull away. Feel your shoulder blades just open up. Breathe here for a hot second. And from here, you can slowly lower your back onto the floor. Awesome. Let your spine just be neutral. Adjust yourself on the mat. Now from here, I want you to take your right knee and bring it into your chest. Keep your lower back on the floor, so I don't want you lifting almost as if you were going into a bridge, and I don't want there to be a hollow, just a neutral spine. Release your hip. Just kind of move your right leg back and forth like this. Sitting also puts a lot of pressure not only on the spine, but also on the hip flexors. They're constantly tight when you are sitting to keep you upright. So it's just as important when you are stretching your back out from sitting for a long time to also stretch out your hips. From here, hold onto your knee with your right elbow and bring it out to the side. Just kind of like feel the crease in your hip, let it open up. And now if you need a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can go from here, straighten your leg, go wherever you need to go where your tailbone is not up off the floor, and hold on to calf, ankle, foot, whatever is helpful, and bring your leg out to the side, like this. You'll feel a little bit deeper of a stretch with your leg straight and your hip. But again, go where your flexibility allows. And if you can and want to, you can also straighten out that bottom foot. That will allow even a stretch in the left hip as well as in the right hip. And then go from here, bring it into center and out to the side. Center, side. Try not to harbor a lot of tension in your hip while you're doing this. Just let it be, let it move. And then from the top, I want you to hold on to your foot, and if your knee is bent, you can stay here and twist. Keeping your knee at 90 degrees, taking your right hand, reaching it back, and looking towards it. Keep both shoulder blades on the floor. Do not let the right one come up. Feel the twist in your entire spine. Your back might even pop a little bit. Mine tends to when I'm in this position. You can keep your knee bent if you want to go from here to a straight. You can do that as well. Whatever works best for you. You'll feel this in your back, in your shoulders. You'll also feel it along your right IT band. So you feel a little bit of a stretch in your right glute, as well as right here on your leg. Hold it here. A couple deep breaths. And then if you really flex your right foot hard, you'll also feel a stretch in your right calf. If your leg is straight. If your leg is bent, you won't feel the calf stretch. As you exhale, twist a little bit more. Feel your shoulder blades plastered onto the mat. Come back in the center. Release that right leg. Place it back on the floor. And now we will go to the left. Let's hopefully have enough space here. Bring your left foot up, left knee into your chest. Just start with the simple waking up the hip. And left and right. Releasing that tension. You can wrap your left elbow around your left knee. Pull it open to the side. Feel that stretch here in your left hip crease. Bring it back to center. And now we're gonna do kind of a little windshield wiper. We're gonna go out and in. You can either keep your knee bent, or you can straighten your knee, and you can bring it out to the side and back in center. Out to the side, back in center. If you want to straighten your bottom leg, you can do so as well. Whatever you did on the other side, just make sure you're doing on this side so that you are being equally stretched. A lot of injury can occur when strength or flexibility is built up on one side only. So you want to make sure strength and flexibility are even. Hold it out to the side. Hold it here. Feel the stretch if your leg is straight in the right hip and in the left hip. Just hold it here. Come back into center. Now, again, you can do this with your knee at 90 and fold to the side, or you can do this with your foot stretched and come out to the side, wherever you need to be. Keep your left shoulder on the floor and twist. Look back towards your left hand. And every inhale, you might feel your shoulder lift just a little bit. So on the exhale, you can twist further. And if you want to straighten that left leg, you can. You'll feel this stretch in the left glute, and the left IT band. Breathe here. One more deep breath, inhale and exhale. Bring that foot back into center. Place your feet back on the mat. And I want you to have your feet wider than your mat and bring your knees in towards each other. Depending on how tight your muscles are, you might be feeling a stretch kind of in your IT band, sides of your glutes. This also allows your lower back to relax. And it allows your hip flexors to relax. So just let your knees fall. You're not holding anything. You're just being, existing. Letting everything kind of just come back into place to neutral. After all the twisting, you need to make sure that your spine also comes back to a neutral position. Walk your feet in so that they're touching. And from here, let your knees fall open to the side. Now your knees might be here. That's cool. If you need to support them, you can. If you have like a yoga block or something that you can have them be resting against, do that. Just let your knees fall, let your hips open. This is uncomfortable for your knees. Just go at a slightly less angle, but where you don't have to hold here with your hip flexors. The point is to release the hips, open them up. Now from here, you're going to crunch up, put your elbows on the ground, walk yourself up, scoot your booty back. You're in a wide diamond. From your wide diamond, reach your hands down your legs to your feet. If you can go past them, awesome. And let your hips open in this position. A lot of times we go into like a butterfly and our heels are super close to us. But there's just as much benefit in being able to keep them, keeping your legs a little bit more stretched out in this position. Stretches your hips in multiple angles, which is helpful for keeping a better range of motion. Just Come as close as you can down to your feet. Every time you exhale, try to release any tension that might still be in your hips. And sit up. We're gonna do the same thing, but this time we are gonna come into a closer butterfly. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, fold it forward. You can use your elbows to kind of press your knees down a little bit. If you want to take turns and be pushing down one at a time, just so long as it's not hurting your knee joint. If it's hurting your knee joint, do not push against it. Let your leg be where it is. Switch. And one last thing I want to do, help with your hips. Hips are also attached to your quads. So we're going to stretch a little quad stretch right here. Sit on your heels. And now you might feel this more comfortable with your knees together. You might need this with your knees a little bit apart. Play with what feels good for you. But from here, place your hands back. You're going to shift your booty a little bit forward so that it's no longer behind your heels, they're in front of your heels. And you're going to go back as far as you can. If here you feel it and you're good, if you're feeling a stretch in your hips and down the tops of your quads, then you're good. You can totally sit here. If you don't feel that quite yet, or you need a deeper stretch, come down to your elbows like this. This is where the further you go, you may need to open your hips just a little bit, shift your booty a little bit so you can get down further. If this is, again, easy for you and you want to go completely down to your lower back, or your upper back, sorry, you can. There will be a little bit of arch in your lower back. Just keep your abs engaged. Try to think as if your butt is going like this. There's a posterior tilt, so that you're getting that stretch in your hips, but you're not getting an extreme low back arch. So almost as if you were trying to get your lower back down to the floor. And if this is too much on your knees, again, you might want to try opening a little wider, or just don't go as far down. The closer your knees are, the more you'll feel this stretch in your quads. The farther your knees are apart, the more you'll feel it in your hips. And come up under your elbows if you came all the way down. Come up under your hands if you're on your elbows. And have a seat. Have your feet out right in front of you. Shake your legs out. I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me for this stretch. I hope that if you've spent a lot of time sitting, or you just needed to get up and move a little bit, I hope this helped open up your hips and your quads, your back, your shoulders. And I so appreciate everyone who has liked, subscribed, commented. Please continue, share with your friends. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below, like this video, and more awesome content will be coming your way. I've got more workouts planned, more stretches, some motivational stuff, and yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. If you need any kind of nutritional coaching, if you're looking for additional workout motivation or ideas, or you have a specific thing that you'd love to see on my channel, please shoot me a message, connect with me. In the link below or in the comments below, you'll find my Facebook and my Instagram. Please feel free to reach out to me on either of those platforms.
and I so appreciate you guys for tuning in. So have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.